this is Ausma, and today with you we have Rožle Bregar, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So Rožle is outdoor photographer who loves ice. He's also cinematographer and the founder of Vizualist. And as he says on his Instagram, his motto is "Nature is my teacher." Is this true?
Yeah, it can be true, you know. No, actually it's true, yeah. When I was a kid, you know, I went with my mother to the nature. So I'm like, all the time I'm involved with the nature, you know. But later on I just took the camera out and the first thing I went to the nature, you know.
Right.
So I combine kind of these two things together, you know. So
Going to nature and
going to nature and try to capture great moments and great landscape. So yeah.
Awesome. Is there anything else that you would like to mention about you, your work, what you do in the field of photography and also videography?
In the past years, I mostly do filming, so I'm like a cinematographer. I'm also a director. So I do a lot of different projects, but mostly outdoor oriented. But I prefer to do documentaries because this is one of the last true things that you can make a story out of it. But you know, if you want to survive in this difficult world with money and income, you know, you need to do a commercial as well. But yeah, I like to do a commercials as well. If we have some outdoor great projects or something abroad, it's even more interesting to me.
Which is maybe from, I know you've done quite a few of documentaries. Is there any favorite that comes in your mind from what you have filmed so far?
Yeah, it's been a bunch of them, but I think the most beautiful one is the Last Ice Hunter. This is a documentary about the East Greenland culture. We were filming it actually almost 3 years, and it was really a great experience. So you know, the landscape in Greenland, it's really beautiful. Everywhere you put the camera, you get a really nice shot. And I really like the ice in the winter, so it's like Iceland, but not Iceland, you know.
Yeah, it's icy, but it's not Iceland.
Yeah.
Great. So, Rožle, could you tell me and us how exactly did you find your path in the field of photography?
Yeah, actually, when I was a kid, we had like a video recorder, like a video camera and video recorder at home. So I started to, you know, with the old small camera, I started to capture the things which I was doing that time. I was also competing climbing, and I was also snowboarding a lot, and I was just, you know, filming like nowadays the kids doing with their phones, you know. But I just had a little bit bigger camera, you know, and I had like 2 video recorders, and I started with the one tape to another. I started to recording the things. It was like analog things, you know, analog editing, you know. It's totally different than today. You just take your phone and start editing the video, you know. So yeah, actually those was my first videos actually, you know. But when I was in secondary school, my mother helped me a bit to buy a first professional still camera, you know. So with that camera, I started to do some job for the local newspaper and sports magazine, because I was so in sports, you know. So I could earn some money. Yeah, and that was my beginning actually. And then I started studying multimedia and the cameras and all those stuff. So yeah, in between actually I was a photographer, but later on I become more the cinematographer. So yeah.
is it hard to sometimes maybe choose what to do, photography or videography, or is it like easy for you that okay, now I will focus on videography,
Yeah.
photography is like secondary for me?
Yeah. Photography is for sure it's my secondary thing, but it's my life passion thing, you know.
Yeah.
Especially if I go to the mountains with my friends and climbing or so on. I took my still camera with me, so I'm shooting the photos. But for work, I do videography most of the time. You know, also the videography is more complex thing, so more people involved. So it's hard to do it alone.
What is the still camera that you have?
Is this a commercial?
That depends. Just curious.
No, I went through the all brands actually, you know.
Ah, cool.
I was on Canon, I'm in Sony now. I also I was taking some with the Panasonic as well, but my main tool is Sony now, so this is how it is. But I think the old cameras are really good nowadays, so it's totally different than 10 years ago or so.
Yeah, for sure. Also with phones, right? You can take really good
Oh,
photos.
yeah.
No?
Sometimes even better.
Right?
You know, the phones has a really great software, you know. And yeah, but for the professional cameras, you need to know how to edit them.
That's true. That's true. My second question to you is, what is the biggest adventure you have had in the field of photography?
Phew. It's hard to say because, you know, all of my project I'm combining the videography, the filming, and the photography as well, you know. I would say that like the hardest one, you mean? Yeah.
Hardest or the most adventurous? You know,
the most
that-
adventurous, for sure, it was Denali. This is the highest peak in North America. It's one of the coldest mountain in the world, they say. It's even more colder than Mount Everest, you know. So yeah, it was a bit of a challenge for me because from Greenland project, I knew that you can have problems with the cold conditions and the winter conditions. So for this purpose on Denali, I was searching for the one camera which can work on really cold conditions. And yeah, then I've got one, and I've got like a sponsorship one. It's a Panasonic camera. I wanted to choose a really small camera with micro four thirds sensor because I can be like really light with the small lenses, and so the company Panasonic said, they said like unofficially, it works on the minus 40 degrees, and as I say, okay, that's the camera which I needed it. So I went to a big freezer, like 10 square meters freezer in the Ljubljana, which one grocery store has. And in the freezer it's like minus 25 degrees. So I spent the night there and I tested all the equipment. You know.
So were you like sleeping in the freezer?
Yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah, like that, yeah.
Oh.
I have photos.
And you were filming it?
Yeah, I have photos. For
No.
Yeah, it was interesting test, but at the end it turns really great. So also in the mountain, because we spent like 2 weeks on the mountain, I didn't have a problem with camera at all. Because, you know, for this kind of job you need to have equipment that it works. You know.
What was the temperature out there? Was it?
Yeah, it was between minus 20 and minus 30 all the time. So yeah, it was cold.
We were talking before, like when you want to film or shoot in this kind of conditions, you need like, you know, gloves, right?
Yeah.
But the gloves are so big, so how do you press the buttons then?
Yeah. I just made like small tools, which I have it here on the jacket.
Yeah.
On the some string, so like sticks on the strings, you know.
Yeah.
And I was trying to,
Like
so it helps me out to push the buttons with the big gloves and the sticks, you know.
so you can even practice probably before, like maybe in the freezer also, you know.
Yeah. So I've got the idea in the freezer actually.
Really?
Yeah, of course. That's why the taste.
Nice. How did you come up with the idea to test it in the freezer? Did someone suggest it?
Actually,
Like how?
Actually, I don't remember. I just say to myself, I need to test the equipment in the cold conditions.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to have like any like how to say any unpredicted things, you know, on the mountain. You know?
In the freezer, probably nothing unpredictable, like like wind suddenly.
Yeah.
All right. So how long were you in America when you were shooting there?
We were on the mountain for 2 weeks, but yeah, for whole project is still going on. This was one sequence for one documentary. Yes.
Can we see it somewhere already?
Not yet.
Not yet. Ah.
It's not finished yet. You know, the documentaries we are mostly, it's like 3 to 5 years project, you know, so to get the funds and film and post-production and release,
So in a few
it
years,
takes a while.
hopefully.
Yeah.
Right. Is there any photograph that comes into your mind from that trip that you took that is possibly one of your favorites?
Yeah. Actually, one is top 5 photo.
Of yours?
Yeah, I captured there. It's like 3 alpinists with the glacier behind. They're going up to their pet. It looks like really cold conditions. Actually, this was the cover photo for this year, the Mountain Film Festival in Slovenia.
Wow, congratulations.
If you were on the Mountain Film Festival, probably not.
Not yet.
It was just 1 month ago. No, less, 2 weeks I think.
I will check it out. Can you see it online somewhere?
Yeah. If you Google the Slovenian Mountain Film Festival, you will see those photos.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Really cool. Great. And is there any other photographer besides maybe this trip that comes into your mind, which is one of your favorites that you've captured somewhere?
I mean, I was all over the world, you know. So I think everywhere you go, it's different than Slovenia, where my home is. So everywhere is like you can get some location which is not familiar to you, and that's why maybe the shots from there are means to you something, you know, because they are different, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like photographing in Iceland. I spent a lot of time there, and I visit Iceland 2 to 3 times per year. I spent like 4 months last year, and I also work there. And Iceland is really colorful country with this with lava and everything. Ice, grass on the other side, and also glaciers and the big rivers, you know. So you can find so many different landscapes, so many different frames. If you take a look at my Instagram, most of the shots are from Iceland because I'm so in love in it.
Great.
I'm so in love with that country.
Awesome. So is there any tip that you would give to other photographers who would also potentially want to, you know, dig deeper into this kind of photography, or maybe potentially videography, which is, you know, documenting, you know, and being in the nature so much?
It's hard to say, you know, because everyone has a different view, you know. Yeah, it's really depend of the person. It's hard to say what one person or one photographer loves and what another loves, you know. I'm just love with the mountains and cold conditions. It's not everybody for that, probably.
Yeah, not every photographer would just
So
like,
if I
in the
say-
freezer.
If I say to someone, yeah, you need to go deep into the Greenland ice cap, I think not so many people will love that.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say.
But how to even start, to get within this field?
I don't know. Even I don't know how to end up there,
How to end up where we are?
I don't know. I just have like a childhood roots in the mountains and nature. But, yeah. Maybe I'm just getting in love with those ice shapes. That's why I also like those landscape and countries. It's interesting.
No, it's cool.
Nobody asked me this before. I've never think about it actually. How to end up here.
Yeah,
Maybe also because I've got this kind of the projects, Because as I said, not so many people are for this. So that's why they just calling me. Hey, I have another project. It's quite hard one, yeah. It's really remote, but you can do it.
Nice. Yeah, it's really great. It's like a challenge then, and then you think, can I do it?
Actually, it's always a challenge. It's, every project, it's another challenge.
Does it get easier? No.
Yes, you never know what's can happen, what kind of projects it's in front, so you never know.
All right. Then on the note of challenges, I have one of the last questions for you.
Yeah.
So, Rožle, what would be a challenge that you would give to me and other photographers or photography enthusiasts out there in the field of photography?
Okay. I was thinking on the way up because I didn't be prepared to give you a challenge, but I have one in mind. So you will take the photo, like at least two photos from the same location, same position, so same camera angle, actually the same frame. And then you will make a stack with the editing. So it can be like I think I have some photos on my Instagram as well. So it can be like a stack photo so you can capture like a mountains on the sunset, and from the same position you capture the same frame at the night with the star. And then you stack the photos with the editing, so the mountains has the colors of the sunset, and the sky has the stars, so the night sky. So this is one example. So this is my outdoor example,
Oh, wow.
But you can take an example in the city. So you can take a photo at night, and you can take a photo and another photo at the day, and you can stack. But it needs to be like not stacked like this, This is the half photo and this is the half. It needs to be something more,
So you do it in Photoshop, right?
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Of course.
So some part it can be like buildings, can be with the lights, but the traffic can be at the day or something like that,
Wow.
So you need to play around a bit, You can also make a photo like one in a winter time and one in a summer and combine this together. That's also possible. So, but this is the challenge which
it takes more time.
Yeah, it takes more time. So it's up to you what you will choose.
Awesome, thank you. So, dear viewer, if you decide to also do this challenge, please tag me, tag Rožle. We would love to see how you attempt it, and I'm excited to try it myself. Yeah. Thank you for the challenge. And then lastly, could you maybe tell me where exactly are we right now? What is this beautiful place?
So we are actually in the middle of the Julian Alps. Mostly on the border. But yeah, it looks like a heart of Julian Alps, So we are on the way to Vršić. We have a really beautiful prisank at the back in the Škrlatica, which is the second highest mountain in Slovenia. So yeah, I like Julian Alps and the surroundings.
How did you discover this place?
I don't know.
Just came here?
No, I just know it from the previous projects, you know.
Oh, great. Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. So thank you so much for the conversation, and good luck with
Yeah,
everything that you do.
Thanks to you as well.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Hi guys. So to complete this challenge, I will be going to the local church, which has really nice viewpoint to the mountains. Have the tripod with me, have a camera. So let's see how it goes. And so we have reached the local church, Marietta, and this is the skyline that I will take the picture of. And then I will wait for a few hours to wait for the night sky to turn into night. And for those of you who watched the previous episode, you can see Smlednik right over there. That's the place where we filmed the second interview. The idea behind this challenge is to capture this scenery during daylight, ideally during sunset, because we can see nice orange golden colors here. And then when the night will come, we will have night sky. And then afterwards in the post-production, we will combine these two pictures and hopefully get a nice and beautiful result. Just remember, and don't be discouraged if you don't live in a place which is nearby the mountains. Remember that you can do this with some buildings or some other kind of landscape as well in whatever area you live. Just go, get out there, be creative. And I'm really excited to see your results as well. All right, so the challenge is completed. As you can see, it's completely dark here. There's still a bit of a light pollution, but I hope it won't matter that much in the post-production. We will see that after. And by the way, this is a really great challenge to do in these times. Just sitting and seeing how the day passes away and it's changed by night. It's truly calming. If you haven't done it, I can definitely suggest. Thank you, Rožle, for this awesome challenge. I loved the experience already. So let's see how it goes in the post-production.
You're the night sky trying to make me see your stars. The